Management Officer. It's my pleasure to have the opportunity tonight to do a WebEx with people that didn't have the chance to participate to the welcome brief in September, August at most locations. So this presentation tonight will be, we'll go through really fast to the PowerPoint presentation because I really want to give the opportunity to each of you to ask me a question and concern you have about the education. I know we have some people from Canada and the US, if it's the case, but I'm more specific for outcome in Europe, but I will do my best to respond to your question and help you. So this is the organization. So we are in the belongs to CFMWS, that's the same as the PFP and MFS. We are the only organization under the CFMWS with public funds. So as you can see, my manager is in Ottawa, and his name is Marc Bélanger. And under Marc Bélanger, you can see that under the Child Education Management Officer, this is my organization, my staff. We succeed this year to have a warrant, leave without pay, just like 2 weeks ago. So it's why you can see on the presentation it's not accurate, but yeah, it did start 2 weeks ago, and it's fantastic with this background as a finance. So this has helped us. And we also, we got Anne Shuni as a part-time employee, just joined the team since last May. So now I'm a full staff. I'm very happy. So the morale is very high in the office at this moment. This is our role and mission and tasks. So the management for the operation, we have 2 Canadian schools, so AFNOT and SHAPE. And what we do the compassion and benefits program. So my role and responsibility is I'm not an educator, but I'm there to give you advices on the benefits you will be eligible to have. So it's why it's very important to understand the different things. So if you contact me about a question on the education side, I will refer you to Ottawa to the guidance counselor, and you will have the point of contact later on my presentation. Some stats, because people like to have and see some stats, so you can give you a good idea how many students we have on our 2 Canadian schools and how many students we have located outside Canada and inside Canada. So it gives you a good idea. And we have also 180 students talk to our guidance counselor every year. Almost the number is almost the same every year to ask about the program on the education side. So the staff in Ottawa are very busy about this too. So as you know, and I can see that tonight, so we have people from everywhere. So this is the roughly number. We have 74 locations that we have children there. So as you can imagine, it's not an easy task to when you arrive and posted in a location and try to understand the education system over there. So I'm there to try to help family. So just to give you some stats from last year, we did have 288 member screen to be posted overseas in Europe and US, and we normally it's a double for the children. So as you can see, it's 541 children screened. So and only 4 family was the screen read by the team in Ottawa. So they are very they do everything they can to accommodate family when they are posted out camp. And this EPS for Europe, this is some statistics. So we did receive 111 members, and this is 220 new children. We get this in the office. So roughly now with UK and all Europe, we have over 500 files we're taking care of. As you know, what I said at the beginning, we have two Canadian schools. We are very proud of the two Canadian schools. We have one in Shape and one in Half North. Just in case someone are cross-posted, but you will know that we have a very good Canadian school here. I put some good partnership information. One of I recommend to all of you, if you you have to, as a mom or dad or kid, the Voila Learning, it's really a good website. You can go there to find some homework support in French and English or math to help the children. Or if sometime I will ask you to provide a quote for a third tutor, you can use Voila as a quote to add on your form. So it's really a good information. So as you know, we follow the Ontario curriculum. So this is what it will be required to graduate for your child. So sometimes we don't know the information. So I find out it's very important that you have the slides. So and if you didn't receive my presentation, no worries. Giselle will do at the end of this presentation forward you my presentation, so you can have it and keep it as a tool for the future. So this slide also explains the difference required across Canada on the graduation. So if you are posted from out and back to Canada, you can also go there and look at what will be required. And the Ontario and the US comparison. So I did put the two because sometimes people ask me the question, okay, my children go to the American school and how many credits, blah, 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 blah. So you have also this information there. It's very important to know and understand the difference. This slide is to explain what I'm doing here. So this all FSD, this is what my office manage. So if it's not under those FSD and someone refer you for benefit and everything, if it's not belong on those 5, it's not my responsibility. But if it's under the educational ones or education travel, yes, this is my responsibility. My office will respond to any question you may have. I don't know if you realize, but I'm not an Anglophone person, I'm Francophone, so please bear with me with my English, but if you, at the end of the presentation, anybody wants to speak to me in French or in English, I will respond to you, no worries, okay? This is also other benefits you may know. If you don't, it's really a good slide to express to you what the difference is versus military foreign services instruction versus the Foreign Services Directive and Compassion and Benefit Instruction, because sometimes everyone are related to it. So when you read on the CAF Connection website, you may be reading on the MFSIs and giving an FSD as a reference. You have to go see the FSD, so it's very important to understand. And the CBI 12 is inside Canada allowances. They will also explain to you the board and lodging and non-resident schools fee and the tutoring, etc., especially if people are posted back to Canada, this APS, at the first year when you go back, your child is eligible for tutoring. So it's very important that you know this benefit exists also in Canada. And at the same time, it also exists when you go province to province. So when they have a big gap in the curriculum, you can use that benefit. So we have guidance counselor, and in Ottawa, we have a senior educator officer, and we have 2 guidance counselor. And what they do, this is the service that they can provide it to you. So if you are not sure, okay, my child graduated this APS, and I don't know what will be the best for him, they will guide you and they will provide you all the information you need. So, but what I said, assume they will give you advice on the education side. If you want to know your benefit, they will refer you to us. So it makes sure you understand the difference between question about education and question about benefits. But anytime you can send them an email. You don't need my approval to do that. The point of contact phone number are on the CAF Connection point of contact list, and you just have to send them an email, ask question, and they will be pleased to respond to you, no problem. This is the frequent discussion topic, so they will talk about the credit count, the distance learning, the special needs student, the international baccalaureate, the IB program, the return to Canada, the college, university. So sometimes we think it's easy to understand how things work, and you're not sure, and your child has some requests and some preference. You don't know how to deal with that. Please don't be shy and go and contact them. It's possible that I will ask you to send your request to Working Group B for approval. Working Group B is the interdepartmental group, so they are located in Ottawa, and it's a committee comprised by 5 governments. So you will have GAC, DND, RCMP, Treasury Board, and all those people sit around the table. So it's very important when I send you an email saying this form has to be complete, you have to provide this information, because they are looking at your file as a group to make sure that they give you the response you deserve to have, and it's make sure they understand completely your case or your situation. For example, you will be asking for tutoring for a subject in math example. If you contact my office, I will ask you to complete a form and provide some source document. So I'm just the mailbox between you and Ottawa. Make sure the file is completely, it's complete, and I will send it to Ottawa. So do not wait if you're thinking you have to send a request to Working Group B. Please contact my office and we'll start your file, prepare everything, and send to Ottawa right away, so we're not losing any time. And it doesn't take long. Normally, if you are on time, a month after I send the request, you will get the response. This is an example I will send you just to give you an idea. So it's very easy to complete. You will have all the light blue, this information you have to provide, and it's very easy to do. So we're talking about a little bit on the education allowances. So people have to understand that the goal is to provide an education compatible with that which is provided without charge in Canada. So first of all, we always prefer the non-fee paying school, and we also have the language of the instruction, and the Roman Catholic education is considered right in Canada. So it's very important when you select a school. I know now it's a little bit late because everything is tight, but to understand each difference. And it's very sometimes it's frustrating because you arrive on HHT, you select the school very fast, and you realize that maybe it's not the right school for your child. What is your option in it, so we can talk about it after my presentation to give you some tips. No problem. We also have the tutoring. The tutoring, it's really is what I said, you can use it upon your return to Canada, but this benefit exists to help your child at the school. So, it's based on 50 hours per child you can have. In the opposite, you will get French tutoring when you're in English school or vice versa. And you also be able to have also in subject in math example could be, it could be one thing. But when I put a comment here with no advance, it's different than in Canada, the way we do business here. So what we do the claim in part 1 and part 2. So I give you 80% on your part 1, and when you provide all the source document and approve and everything, I finalize your claim and give you the 20% missing. So it's almost an advance, but in a different way. So as I said, you can have also the tutoring in other language. And you can also have the first year at post for, so this is an example that the principal have to provide to us. Very simple. I did this example to make sure that it's not complicated, but almost all principals from school know how to write this memo to send it to us. But if it's an email with this information, it's good too. It's not necessarily has to be a memo or whatever. So it's very important, if you probably did that already, to go see on the post-tailing the school in location you're allowed to go. So if you go on the school, it's not on the post-tailing, it's very important to let us know, but I don't think have any attendance. It's the situation. So if they go on the school and it's not on the post-tailing, we already asked Working Group B to approve. So every year we have to check that, because sometimes some schools are there, some schools are removed, and it's very important to check that every year. The reason why is sometimes it's security issue, or they don't respect the curriculum, or we receive a lot of complaints from family, example, bullying or whatever. So the first thing, really, it's always the security of your children. So it's very important to report those things. So if you're thinking that the school is not good and something happened, make sure the chain of command know. They will inform us, and we can look at what we can do. The same thing, if you know they have other schools, they are very good and they should be added to the post-tailing, same thing, inform the chain of command, and I will provide them what they have to do to make this school add on the list. So we have some relevant factors, so I put those definitions, so later on you can look at what post-secondary education means, what school year means. And it's very important to understand the school year. The school year is always September to August, the year after. The reason why I say that is because if your children turn 18 or 19 in the school year, that school year, September to August, became very important to calculate how many FRT examples your child will be eligible. So it's very important to understand that school year means. And in elementary and secondary education in Canada, we also have public school and we have Canadian residential school. So Asbury College in Ottawa, you will probably hear me or read in the policy that all the fee or the maximum benefit is based on the Asbury College, because this is the most expensive one we have in Canada. So when they calculate the benefit, they give the maximum from Asbury. And we also have the secondary education away from post, but not in Canada. So we have CCI in Italy and Neuchâtel in Switzerland. It's very important that everybody understand that the school will be picked, which is the nearest to the member post. So if you are in Napoli right now, Naples, yes, it will be CCI. But if you're in Belgium, you can go in CCI or can go in Neuchâtel. It depends the choice of the family. But again, this will be decided with the guidance counselor in Ottawa when we talk about it. The secondary education, the grade 9 to 12, board and lodging, provincial public school in Canada. So this is the policy. What I try to do with this presentation is to give you as much as possible information as a recap. So if you have to think about, okay, my child has to go to the secondary education in Canada, what I have to do, you will find out the reference, the little bit the description of the benefit, and which form you have to complete, and what requirement document you will need to provide. So every time if you ask me question, this kind of information I will provide to you. All the form, all the reference are under the CAF Connection website. It's very easy to find. Same thing for the post-secondary education in Canada, the shelter allowance. Only up to school year's 23 birthday, the proof of full-time attendance at Canadian Post Institution. The signed copy of the lease agreement will be very important to have. Maximum 8 months for university and 9 months for the college. And the dependent must be on MPR and a posting message. You can also request for transportation when it's not provided by the school. Again, as you can see, all the small description, the source document, and what form you have to complete. And this will be claimed at the end of the school year. The reason why, especially if you request for mileage, example for your car, I will not give you the advance, but we give you at the end of the school year because I need the calendar and the attendance for the child, how many days he went to the school. So everything is based on that. So if you have 2, 3 children, I can understand that the cost could be higher. So we do base case by case. So sometimes I will just give you the 80% on your claim, and at the end of the school year, I will complete for the 20%. I'm very flexible for that. You also have the education travel. Again, same thing like the others. Which one you have to complete and require document. So the biggest mistake people do, they don't read my email. So please take the time to read twice the email. And if you send me the email with what I request or what my staff requests, normally if we have everything, the claim is done very fast. But if it's missing some documentation and everything, but they will put the email not away, but they will do one we have all the information and it's complete before, and after that it's just losing time. So please take the time to read twice. If you're not sure, but send us an email to clarify it, and then we will respond to you. Again, some of you will be eligible for escort travel. Some of you will have education travel. What HQ city means, so I did put that slide on because some people doesn't understand what this mean. And it's very important that the last Canadian post. So if you arrive from Ottawa and your children is in New Brunswick, everything will be kept to your HQ city. So it's why we will probably ask you from some quote from your HQ city to post, and we will ask you quote from HQ city to where the child is. So it's very important that everybody understand what HQ city is, and I put a little example there too. So I give you a nice recap of family reunion travel because this is the most popular benefit outcome. So what I always says to my people when I travel and doing my presentation, make sure you're not waiting at the last minute to book the flight for your children, especially now, Christmas coming very fast. If you don't know, because the child will have his exam date, I would say the 15th December, and you are not sure 100% would be the 15th December. Doesn't matter. Book the flight because we reimburse the change fee based on the situation. So if you know 99% that the 15th December will be good, then book. Do not wait for 5 weeks in advance. Do it 2 months to 3 months in advance. It's not a problem. And also when if they have a storm or they have anything could happen, if it's under the control of the children and we have the justification, we will be reimbursed the fee, okay? So you need to understand that it's actual reasonable transportation expense to from the airport. The FRT cannot be claimed in additional to HLTA. Member can claim only one of the other. The reimbursement is up to the cost of traveling between the headquarters city and the post for post-secondary school student and child not at school. So the quote to the HQ is required. So as you can see, secondary school students, they will have 3 trips, post-secondary student and children not in school. So it's a really good recap. And also we have dependent travel to post. So this is what I will need. So you have to complete the Form 19, the travel reconciliation, the documents, so the itinerary, the receipt, the posting message. Normally I have it in the file, so it's not a problem. But if you have a custody agreement and if you have an FRT, an unaccompanied posting, if you have an FRT at the third location, it could be possible also because some family, they are in Izmir example, it's not safe at that moment, or they want to go in a third place. The only thing you have to let me know in advance because this is the director has to approve that, and we have to do some cost comparison, but normally he approves. So we try to make everything easier for the family. And it has to be, keep in mind that the family when you travel is to reunite with your children. Okay, so make sure that the children's coming at the location, you go there, so you have a family reunite. So if you do that, normally he approves everything, it's not a problem. Also, the parent can travel versus the student to come. But if you have two children in Canada and you want to travel over there, will kill FRT for each of them, okay? Because you go there, you have to see your two children in the same time. So some tricky things over there, but make sure you talk to us prior to making any financial decision, okay? Also, we have family reunion travel under the custody agreement. If you have, it's what I always say, we have new modern families, so they are separated and the children living with the mom in Canada, this benefit also applies to you. So it's up to two return trip per school year from the location of the children to post or vice versa. The reimbursement is cost of the airline ticket less the cost of the travel, if any, between the location of the children, other parent, and the employees at Quarter City member share. So what member share means is if you are in Ottawa and your children was living in Quebec, it will be your responsibility to go through Ottawa to Quebec. Will be your share. So it's why we always reduce the member share when under the custody agreement, okay? So you will provide us a flight ticket from Quebec to Bruxelles, example, and we will ask you to provide Ottawa to Quebec, and will be reduced to your initial flight ticket, okay? And no entitlement for escort travel unless a child has a special need, and unaccompanied minor fee may be reimbursed. So if the children have 11 years old, some company charge a fee, so to check the children, example $200, we will be reimbursed that, no problem. So children education management is very difficult, and it's very, the policy is complex, so please do not take any decision before talking to us if you're not sure 100%. And no question are stupid, so take the time to ask us if you are eligible for this benefit or the other benefit, and we will, if you read the FSDs and says, oh, I think I'm allowed to have this benefit, please ask, and I will let you know if you're eligible or not. So the general principle is the goal is to provide an education that is compatible with the education provided without charge in Canada. Whatever is possible, a D&D school or other non-fee-paying school is used. Private schools are considered when there is no other suitable option, and allowance are available to ensure member is not financially disadvantaged because of the posting. So we have some challenge because, as you know, it's not easy. So Europe footprint increase all the time. Posting message. So I did this year a new communication thing. So every time I receive a posting message, I send a welcome email. So for my people from UK, the newcomers this year in APS 20, they will see a new way to do business because they just joined us a month ago. So it will be different. We did have a staff issue in the office, but now it's fixed. So it will be more people to help doing the work, so it would be fantastic. Also, take the time to complete fully the form. Some people just do the beginning, they forgot to complete. So every time it's not complete, we have to return back, so it's delay cause on your behalf. So, and provide also documents. So please make sure they are accurate. So sometimes I ask for report card, but the parents send the report card from last year. So it's very important to pay attention to those details. Use our generic email. So we have a generic one. You will have it on my slide at the end. So use that generic email because everybody have access to it. So if you dealing especially on one of my staff in the office and this person is sick or is not there, nobody will respond back to you. But if you're using the generic email, me or other my staff will be able to respond to you. We try to respond in a timely manner in 10 days. We are very getting better. I keep my 10 days as a safe time, but normally in 5 days you will get a response. And again, please read the email twice. Sometimes we receive a lot of communication, a lot of emails from everywhere, but this is benefit, this is money, so please take the time. And also check the social media because I use more and more the Facebook by location and MFS to publish update on policy or just a reminder for the FRT example. And so take the time to look at that. So I put the timeline so you give you really a good idea which part of the year we are very busy and what we do because I'm not only taking care for the benefit but also taking care of my teacher and all the civil employees also are engaged at the school. So I'm the BGRS or moving office for my teacher. So the HHT and the move. So during the June and August period, it's very busy for that. Also, during the summertime, posting message and the tuition fee, because my priority during May to September is always to pay the invoices to the school, make sure that your children can start the school without any issue. So this is the priorities. So I'll give you a really good idea of what we do in this office. Because people thinking we only do claims, we do more than just claims. So it's a busy office, and we do a lot of things. And this does make you understand exactly what we do here. So this is the IOR, so the area of responsibility. So as I said, myself, what I do, and we have Tobias is taking care almost with the teacher and the school daily work. And I have the allowance coordinator. Now we have Teresa McLennan and also Anne Shoney. So we have two clerks. So I split the letters. So A to K to Anne and the L to Z to Teresa. But at this moment, everybody do almost everything until we catch up and make sure we can start the new years with the new system. So this is our contact. Again, you can see the website, the CAF Connection website. Please take the time to read. And on the website, you will also have a lot of FAQs. Maybe you will find your question there with the response. So go there before go to us. So this is help us if you do that. And if you are still confused or not sure, no problem, you can contact us. You can see the phone number, the generic email address is there. And it would be a pleasure to me and my staff to help and respond to your question. I know it's very stressful time and the education for your children is very important. And the money also could be a big problem too, because sometimes doesn't look like that, but we have your medical bill you have to pay, a TD claim, or your education, and become very a big bunch of money. So please don't be shy to tell us if we can help, no problem.